Today we are making the most delicious chili recipe in the Milky Way galaxy. If you want to pull those meat eaters over to the plant-based side, this is how you're gonna do it. This chili recipe is whole food plant-based, low in fat, oil-free, and it is perfect for the entire family, all of your friends. No matter what kind of a diet you eat, you will love this recipe. Hey, if you're new, hi, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and a weight loss specialist. I'm the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you would like to work with me, as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach to lose weight on a plant-based diet, click the link in the down bar. You're cramping my style here. I'm also a cat mom to two. This recipe actually freezes very well. I made this every single week when I was in college, and I would just batch cook it for the week. I would either put it in the freezer or into the fridge. So this is a perfect thing to make on a Sunday. Have your entire house smell beautiful, and then during the week, throw it in the microwave. Easy, done. As for ingredients, the great news about chili is you can add, you can take away. You don't have to be crazy about the proportions. If you don't have this much of that, that's totally fine. If you have more of this, that's totally fine. It's very forgiving. So I'm starting out with 4 cans of the crushed tomatoes from Whole Foods. These don't have any salt added. Under normal circumstances, I actually only do 2, but I'm actually making this for book club tonight. I also have 3 different kinds of beans here. You can choose whichever you enjoy. So I have black beans, pinto beans, and kidney beans. No salt added. You also could add corn. You could do navy beans, cannellini beans, black-eyed peas, whatever kind of beans you want. Then I have peppers that I have chopped up. You can just pick up bell peppers and chop them into pieces. I picked up the mini sweet peppers that are from Whole Foods, and I've chopped those up. I also have an onion here that I've chopped up. I usually use a Vidalia onion, but I only had purple onions. So this is actually going to be a quite purple dish, and I'll tell you why. So I've chopped up an onion, and then here I have a purple sweet potato. Under normal circumstances, I make this entire recipe with an orange sweet potato, but I didn't have an orange sweet potato because, to be honest with you, orange sweet potatoes are garbage. There's nothing wrong with them nutritionally. They're fantastic nutritionally. I just like purple ones way better. So I have a purple sweet potato, and I actually have this resting in water right now because I chopped it up earlier today and I didn't want the potato to dry out. So I have it resting in water, which it actually helps remove some of the excess starch, which can help make the potato more dense and kind of have a deeper flavor and texture to it. So something great to do is to rest your potatoes in water, especially if you're going to air fry them or bake them. This also helps with removing the excess dirt. And then I have some spices here. So the 4 spices that I have oregano, or as we say, oregano. So I got some oregano, I have some chili powder, and then I have some garlic and some onions. I don't label my spices, so I always have to guess. My brother came over the other day and he thought that one spice was one thing because of what it looked like, and it ended up being another thing. So it's a fun guessing game. So which one's the garlic powder and which one's the, I can't even tell. This is the onion, this is the garlic powder. I could put labels on the inside, but what if I don't want that spice anymore? Then my beautiful glass bamboo spice thing is ruined. Can't have that. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I have my nice big pot here, and I am going to put this over medium-high heat. I'll let that warm up, and I'm going to add in my onions, and I'm going to let these water saute. I've got my water pitcher here, so I will add that as needed if I need some of the water, but I'm only going to add water for the sake of lubrication. I'm not going to have a big pile of water because then I'm just kind of boiling and steaming the onions. I kind of want to water saute them and let them caramelize just a little bit. While that's happening, I am going to drain and rinse all of my beans. So I have my strainer here, and I'm going to put all of these together into the strainer, and I'm going to rinse them until the bubbles go away. You want to rinse until the bubbles go away because the bubbles are what cause the gas. So if you don't want to be gassy after having this chili, make sure you rinse. So I can hear this starting to crackle a little bit, which is a good sign. And again, just pouring in a little bit of water to lubricate things so that the onions don't get stuck. You just want to add water to prevent sticking, so you don't have to add any oil. So I have this over high heat now. Just let these cook up a little bit more. Do keep in mind that when you use oil, everything will cook up a lot faster. When you're not using oil, things won't cook up as quickly, so it just requires a little bit more patience. All right, so I've got my beans. And then I'm going to drain my potatoes. Potatoes are all drained. I totally forgot celery. Celery usually goes into this recipe, and I completely forgot to pick it up at the store. So the celery is really good because it adds sort of a salty flavor. So my sincerest apologies to my book club, who's not going to be getting the celery in this. I have a question. Which cuisine is your favorite? Mexican, Italian, Mediterranean, Ethiopian, Indian? You can comment more than one. I'll let you do that because I have so many favorites. All right, so the onions are translucent. So now I'm going to add in the potatoes and the peppers. Normally at this time you would add in the celery as well, but like I said, I forgot it. This together and just let this cook up for a couple minutes. It's actually, with the purple, it looks really beautiful. Just gonna mix this up. I'm gonna let this cook for a few more minutes. All right, so I let that cook up for about 7 minutes, and now I'm gonna add in the crushed tomatoes. I might not need all of these cans, we'll see. So I've added in 2 cans so far, and now I'm gonna add in the beans, and we'll see if I need to add another can. And I'm gonna add in the spices. So I'm gonna add in about a teaspoon of the onion and the garlic powder, and then about a tablespoon of the chili powder and a tablespoon of the oregano. And I'm not going to do perfect measurements. I'm just going to eyeball it. Oregano, chili powder. All right, I'm just going to mix all this together. So I ended up using 3 cans of the tomatoes. You also could add, you could use diced tomatoes. I chose the crushed. Put this onto medium heat, and I'm going to cover it and just leave it open just a crack. And I'm going to let this cook for about 25 minutes. And I'll turn it down if it starts to bubble over. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes, and I'm just going to keep it at a simmer, but that's pretty much it. As you can see, it's just bubbling up here, and I'm just stirring it every so often so that it doesn't burn at the bottom. So best to do low and slow to prevent from burning. Patience really is a virtue here. You also could add in some spinach. Again, I'm missing the celery, but that's okay. And what I would normally do if I were, when I was in college, the way that I would do it was I had 4 different containers, and I would just split this into 4 containers and put it right in the fridge. And then I would bring it to school when I was student teaching, and I would just pop it in the microwave at lunchtime. So that's what you could do. You also could put it into different mason jars, or you could put it into a freezer safe bag and then put it into the freezer. And then when you're ready, put it into the fridge, let it de-thaw, and then, or de-thaw, is that thaw? Let it thaw out, and then have your chili that way. But it can stay in the fridge for months. And I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.